Hi there, welcome to the tomb of illumination. Today's video is about the physics of our flat earth design. You can call it a ball if you want, if you're that way inclined. You're a little bit ignorant, a bit slow to pick up on reality. But this video started off with trying to explain the sun. But then it morphed into something else, which basically led me into the cold fusion. So bear with me, because I've just stopped where I got to the bottom of the other panel, because I know the video will probably run out. So I've just left it the way it is. So we're going to go from the sun, and I don't exactly carry on with that story, and then it morphs into the the plasma, the nuclear fusion. So bear with me. So, okay, well that's what it started off as. Why there's no black hole in the Milky Way. So that will now probably have to be another video, but I'll try and explain it without going through this. So what happens is the Milky Way in the flat earth design is like an umbilical cord that goes from the tropical zone over into the central Arctic centre. Now the tropical zone's a big circle, but the umbilical cord is just a small, say a pipeline, a straw coming out, going over into the Arctic. So that tropical gap represents the black hole, because our realm here is an exploded image of what's happening back in creation. So you have to imagine this circle here is the horizon of the black hole. So you've got the black hole, so imagine the tropical circle, you've got a straw coming out. That straw is the Milky Way. It's not as big as the black hole. It's just a straw on the horizon of the black hole, where the sun sits. The sun's created. The sun we do not see, the unseen plasma of creation. It's sitting there on the horizon. And this straw goes around like this, 360 degrees over 24 hours. And it's attached over from our tropical region over into here. So it moves all the way around, that way, all the way around over 24 hours. Imagine a straw from there to there. That's the Milky Way. It's slightly curved, but it's only dead straight when it's directly over your head in the middle of the night. So it's a quick reason as to why the black hole is not in the Milky Way. The black hole is at the end of the Milky Way, where the sun's sitting. Oh, that's what I was supposed to go into, is explaining the black hole. Why we cannot see the black hole is because Earth is from the black hole. We are the black hole. The fixed and stationary round Earth is from the black hole. And on its horizon, well, the action is the magnetic field, the toroidal field. The Milky Way comes off the side of it over, probably losing you already. So you have to imagine this is inside let's say we go back to creation. This is inside the black hole. That's the horizon of the black hole. That's where the ecliptic plane sits on the horizon of the black hole. Okay? So the Milky Way comes off so then we have to leave this model of the black hole, Milky Way, go from the Milky Way over into creation. So this is why the black hole's not in the Milky Way. It's at the end of the Milky Way, and it's way bigger than the Milky Way. And you can't see the black hole. It's a lot bigger, and it's invisible. It's where creation is. That's why we cannot see it in our night sky. We see the Milky Way, and we see the bulge where the back of the sun is. That's going into another story, but I'll just go with what I've written here. It gets down to the nitty-gritty stuff about the nuclear fusion. So the Milky Way is the umbilical cord of creation. It flows from our created realm of Earth's tropical region over into the centre of the Arctic, where creation lies. All the secrets of creation are of the metaphysical. They cannot be seen or measured, only comprehended. But within our Earth's created realm, we have signs. Go check out Romans 1:20. It explains it. The non-seen creation and the signs that we are looking at. The sun we see is an image. Nothing above us is physical, but the images can be replicated in our perceived physical realm, which is the true meaning of alchemy, now known as chemistry and physics, or in physics, which is bringing the metaphysical into something common man can perceive or comprehend. So let us take the Milky Way for an example. Inside the Milky Way is what we call the EMF, is electromagnetic induction, the gap between a stator and a rotor, or the dielectric between two poles of a magnetic field. In capacitance, etc., electrical engineering, whatever, computer stuff, engineering. Tesla understood this gap more than 100 years ago. This gap has been created within the tropical zone of Earth. Your science/physics has never been clever enough to understand, because they've either hidden that or they got no understanding, and this is why they've come up with your spinning ball theory bullshit. Okay? Because in a ball, it's spherical, two halves are equal. You can't have an equal field, a magnetic field. It doesn't work. You have to have, on this model here, a wider, weaker field and the stronger inner field. This is in religion as the cattle, many cows, but the beast is in the middle, the tight magnetic field. And the snake, the serpent, represents his magnetic field, the magnetic flow of the magnetic field. So their focus has been more about deception than reality, focusing more on deceiving man into believing he lives on a spinning ball. It's all spinning ball this, spinning ball that, globe this, globe that, every science site. They just keep pushing the globe, because they know the more they repeat it, the more the jellyfish inside the common man's head absorbs it all. You've got to stop watching that rubbish, start waking up the brain and connecting it all with this true flat earth model. It's all here. Deceiving man into believing he lives on a spinning ball, then sharing the truth about earth and creation, be it earth or the human existence, which are both very much connected. Very much connected. The earth's magnetic field, very much connected with the human brain. The energy created at our tropical zone is what creates Earth's heat, not the pretty picture of a sun disk, only visualized via your pupil, but it can be understood as the focal point of the known energy field, just as all the other wandering stars are. The heat is created in here. It is the secret of creation that has turned a star into a sun. Science will never explain it fully, because everything in creation is a trinity. Your physics will only give you the simple one-sided story the simple common man will understand. It is not truth until the other two versions are understood. Until they are understood, man dwells in darkness, which is ignorance. Okay? Think about that. Now I will try and explain what I mean by explaining our sun. Put it in there. The sun we see is just an image. We explain the image from past knowledge, passed down from ancient philosophers, the wise men of renown. Because everything is written, and it's all associated with religion, and all these men of the past all knew all about the religion. It's all hidden in religion. But science and physics and NASA, etc., have most believing that modern science figured it all out. No, they only have modern equipment to verify ancient knowledge, e.g. the ancient Egyptians called the sun Helios. So we know it as to be helium. The lightest known gas on Earth is hydrogen, and the hydrogen molecule comes from or leaves energized water and rises up to the highest known. So this was wandered away from my original video, so bear with me, okay? Now we're going into nuclear fusion. Maybe not nuclear, but it's cold fusion. Right, rises up to the highest known area of Earth's atmosphere. But as the molecule rises, it is being ionized within the tropical gap. Okay, in here, because all the energy's within this gap here of the electromagnetic force, creating the radioactive decay, which is the shredding of the hydrogen molecule into its finer subatomic particles. But realize the shredding is also due to the expansion of the molecule via the vacuum. No atmospheric pressure anymore on Earth holding the molecule together. See, as it rises off the Earth, it's getting thinner and thinner. The atmospheres get thinner and thinner, so there's no pressure. So it's expanding, and it's basically getting shredded, pulled apart. Then it goes through the choke point. It's reformed back through the choke point. At this point, there is no smashing of particles or molecules. It is not needed. The subatomic particles are about to be sucked into the Milky Way, choke point of recombination. This is rebirth. See, Earth has a rebirth system, and so does man. It's all written in religion. Rebirth, the spiritual rebirth, reawoken, reformed spiritually, connected with the above. Not your simple physical form, your initial brain, your first brain. You start opening up your second brain, or third, or whatever you want to call it. About to be sucked into the Milky Way choke point of recombination, rebirth, or recycling. This is where the initial hydrogen molecules are merged into helium atoms, which feed the sun of creation in the Milky Way. Bulge. This bulge is seen at night as Sagittarius A, the back of the sun. So in effect, the shredded hydrogen molecule is creating its own tritium and deuterium. We don't have to mine it. It is naturally found or created by moving fresh water that creates kinetic energy that releases the hydrogen molecule to seek the lower pressure of a vacuum. This is why it rises up through the tropical gap. There's a low pressure in the tropics as opposed to out here, north and south. There's centre north, there's south. This is sliced through the flat earth, okay? Sliced through there, straight to there. Centre, centre. The circulation, water circulation, subterranean circular motion of the water in here that came from the Arctic, the energized molecules are rising up through here. Because to start with it's a lower pressure, but it gets lower and lower and lower. And then it gets sucked back into the centre. So in effect, the shredded hydrogen molecule is creating its own tritium and deuterium. We don't have to mine it. It is naturally found or created by moving fresh water that creates kinetic energy that releases the hydrogen molecule to seek the lower pressure of a vacuum, or in the vacuum. Then we draw it from the vacuum to a tight magnetic vortex that will create the plasma. The magnetic vortex suspends the plasma from escaping or touching the walls of any confinement. But they tell us all this now in physics. This all came out way after I started talking about all this stuff. But in saying this, we do get collateral disbursement, because this is what stars and Magellanic clouds are. That's from the creation of the sun. That's quite well explained in some videos, and I always forget what flipping things are called. It's on the lines of plasma, but no, don't know. But yeah. Came out a couple of years ago, the videos, explaining what all those stars and all those Magellanic clouds are all about. And he describes it basically coming from the sun, I think. So the magnetic suspends the plasma for escaping. So it's getting drawn. So it's getting sucked right up and over into the vacuums on the horizon of the black hole, because it's up here, the horizon of the black hole. So it's coming out of here. So you've got to remember that the Milky Way is just like this. Oh, sorry, wrong way. It's like this to the tropical gap, and that moves around. That's considered the black hole, because that's the horizon. There's no way this massive black hole is inside the Milky Way. It's at the end of the Milky Way, so you cannot have the black hole in the Milky Way. So this is where my initial video was supposed to be, was supposed to expand on all this. So this is why you have to understand the trinity of creation. You've got because you have your, it's hard to explain. This is why I have to write it all down. Otherwise I get confused myself. You have the images we see. Then we have the physics to try and explain it, which is not explained properly unless you go into the whole trinity of the events. Then you have to understand the metaphysical, blah blah blah, but it's not on the top of my head, but understanding that. So really, I think I pretty well described the black hole is not in the Milky Way. If you understand that Earth is the black hole, and actually if you go back to this Romans actually I'll read it, I've got it here on the phone. Everything's described in the Bible. It's a science book. And these scientists that come on, put silly comments on my videos, one just mentions Ezekiel something or other. He said that was his favourite, and it's because he doesn't even understand it. He doesn't realise it's all celestial. That Ezekiel, whatever it was explaining the moon. The movement of the moon and its alignment to create something. It talks about asses, A-S-S-E-S, asses. You can go down to your butt, because at your ass, what have you got? You've got your sac, your coccyx. Your coccyx is basically like an earth peg to the earth, but it's connected with the earth's magnetic field. And the moon's up here, his magnetic poles, which is forced on the head. So we're like the electrical circuit between the earth and the above. It's this, and it's to do with the celestial alignments that creates this field through your system, which sets the spark, the voltage, cross circuit, whatever, and awakens you, enlivens your pineal gland. That's the Son of Man. But that's wandering off. Let's read this Romans. Get my other glasses. Romans 1:20. For the invisible things of Him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made. The signs that we see in our world. They're signs from the creation. Even His eternal power and Godhead. What's the Godhead? What's the God in the head? The God in the head is the cosmological egg, the Godhead. There's the horizon of the black hole. There's the Godhead, which is the Son. This is God, creation. This is the Father. This is the Son, or the Son. This is the Father. Look that up. The Godhead. We see the Son. Even His eternal power, which is the black hole of creation, and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. I don't have an excuse. I know the whole system. That's why I explain it all to you. Just trying to get it through to people. There's just so much rubbish thrown at people. Just imagine all those websites, all those science stories about the globe and how they figured this out and figured that out, when 90% of it is just science fiction. This is why they get billions of dollars. They're paying all these people to write stories, basically. So I hope you understood that. But the sun is just an image at the focal point, but the creation is within this electromagnetic induction. This is why you get all the warmth in the tropical region, right through around this tropical region of our Earth, right? All the heat's there, and all the crap falls down here into the deserts on the sides. But yeah, so it's understanding the sun, what it's really doing. But nothing up here is physical. There's nothing above us that's physical. There's for signs. But you have to comprehend by understanding of physics. You know, it's pretty hard, but understanding, philosophy and religion, all that, it's all hidden in there though. It's pretty hard for people to see. But anyway, I explained it all. Just keep following me. Give it some likes and share it to people. People are waking up. There's more and more people waking up, you know. There's a heck of a lot of people waking up to the flat earth now. There's some arguments about the sun. Even flat earths are arguing about the sun, what it's doing. Some are arguing it's not going around here all day long because they start focusing on the individual arc of horizon of man. See, you have to decipher the two systems. You have to imagine it going around here, but only seen in your one arc of horizon. So in creation, it's going around like this, but you've got to flip it up like this for your arc of horizon. So instead of going around this way like this, it comes over your arc of horizon like that. So don't think this is wrong, because that's correct, just because you're seeing this disappearing outside of your arc of horizon. Rise and fall on your arc of horizon. Remember the strings? It's all perpendicular to this arc, seen by you. standing here at the center, 90 degrees, zenith. All out here. Newton's string theory that you don't know about. They keep hidden from you. So, you imagine the main event is coming around here 24/7 because it does a full rotation around the Earth over one day. And you see your thing coming over here in your day. So imagine, realise creation's level. Out now around, you look at everything that way. All the layers, all the atmospheric layers, all in here. Okay. Understand the cosmic egg, the true cosmic egg, the sun on the horizon. So this is the Milky Way coming off there like that. So the black hole's not in the Milky Way, is it? That's going over into the tropical gap here, from the centre over the tropical gap. This is the choke point. This is the, how they draw it, like the Egyptians. There's the body. There's the Milky Way choke point. There's the bulge, the sun. And does that go down to the vortex, the Milky Way? Must do, yeah. Yeah, that sits down. That's the cross circuit that's down inside the Milky Way. It gets a cross circuit, so that's the beak, and then the head of the bird's here, and then go the Milky Way over to the body of the Earth, the magnetic field of Earth. There's the Milky Way, the bulging sun on the horizon, like that. That's the cross circuit. It creates the bang, the sun. Oh, that's a big one for me. Thank you. Get your mates to subscribe. Let's get the numbers up, eh? Get the news out, the truth out. You don't understand the truth till you understand the Trinity. When science gives you their version, that's only one part of it. You'll stay in darkness, stay in a conscious state of stupidity until you understand the whole Trinity. Cheers.